So I just realized I was not able to go live for some reason. I have no clue as to why. They probably don't like me on here any more than they like me on Facebook or TikTok, voicing my opinion. So I'll just say right now, in the record mode. Okay, so anyway, I was just finishing watching up my morning news, and I noticed that they're going to be putting a mute button on Trump's microphone in the debate. Honestly, I think that's ridiculous. I know that he talks over people. I know that's not standard debate format, but I also know that feeding people questions, teleprompters, and a bunch of other BS on the other side is not standard debate format either. I debated in high school. I know what it's like. I know the rules. And that's not part of the rules, people. Seriously, is not part of the rules. In any case, we've had hot mics and we've had now muted mics. And some of the hot mic stuff is pretty interesting. I want you people to look up the Falconer and that information. I want you to keep your eyes on that laptop. Seriously. Giuliani is a genius. So, it doesn't matter what they say. We all know the truth. But we need to make sure that we speak our truth and the truth, because our truth is the truth, to everybody around us. Don't let sleeping dogs lie. Those sleeping dogs need to wake the heck up, start barking. Seriously, they do. So, that's the thing with, them shutting us down. The whole idea of them shutting us down is to make sure that our barking dogs aren't being heard. The whole point of shutting Trump's mic off is that the barking dogs can't be heard. Well, you know what? I think those dogs need to be so loud that you can't hear anything else but those barking dogs. Good boy. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, we are not very far out from the election. A lot of people have already voted ahead of time. Some people by mail-in ballot, which I am very skeptical of using, and I'm not going to. Some by early voting. Have a lot of friends who have gone and early voted. I didn't catch the early vote for my area. I'm going on the 3rd, like everybody should. Everybody has in the past. And I will be voting. And I will be voting the right. Because we do not need this corruption in our government, and we have to take this corruption out of our government any means necessary when it comes down to voting them out, okay? We need to step up and vote them out. And we can't rely on, putting things to the FBI and saying, hey, look what happened. Because the FBI obviously isn't doing their job. They're just holding and hiding information that could take people down. Somebody's in somebody's pocket somewhere, having a good old time, playing around. So, anyway, that's my take on the morning's news. I'm not happy with this whole mute mic situation that they're talking about during the debates. But I think Trump should go get one of those little mini amplifiers, the ones that hook on your hip when you're trying to play music out in public somewhere. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but they're like little teeny tiny amplifiers, look just like a full-size amplifier. But it has a little pocket hook, and it fits on your belt. You put that little amplifier on your hip, and you can hook up a microphone or guitar or whatever the heck you want to it. And I think he should put that little thing on his hip and put a little mic up on his shoulder. And when Biden says something stupid and he wants to interject to it, he uses his little amplifier. As a matter of fact, I got thinking about it earlier. I think that this information that's come out between the Falconer information and the laptop information, there should be an indictment. I think that indictment for arrest should be done right there on the debate stage in front of the world and God. That would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? You see them come out, serve that indictment right there on that stage. I mean, you want to make it one-sided. You want to play that game. You want to start a bunch of garbage. Oh, we can play that game too. We don't like to play games. We like to be straightforward. But when our straightforward information gets blocked, like I've been blocked, I got a TikTok account. I had that TikTok account for the last 3-ish years, give or take. 2.5 or so. I had about 5,000 people on my TikTok. I was getting up there to the point where I would be able to be monetized at 10,000. And they didn't like what I was saying when I was speaking the truth, and they shut my account down with no demerits on it. They had nothing on me. They did not notified me of anything I'd done wrong. They just didn't like what I was posting and hashtags I was using. So I went and built another one. Told everybody I was back. 2,500 of them found me. And in 2 days, that account was down too. Built a third one. It was up for a day and a half. About 600 of them found me. And it was down. Now I'm in an account that I've had for a couple weeks. Barely posting anything because I'm afraid that if I do, the shit will be taken down. And I noticed something. The first couple days it was up, my videos that I was posting were getting views. You know, not a lot of views. But, you know, anywhere between 20 and 200 views. Normal for somebody with a new account who's putting it on your For You page. And after I started posting and using political hashtags and posting my personal poetry and so on and so forth, I'm down to having like 1 view on a video, and the only person that's liked that video is me. I always open up my video and like my video to encourage people to like the video. Just a habit I've got. You know, you don't want that little red heart to be dark. So I always hit that like button on my own video when I upload it. Kind of give them a head start a little bit. But you know, most of my videos that I posted in the last few weeks have that 1 heart, or maybe 2 or 3. I have one that's got 3, but it's only got 3 views on top of that. So nobody's seeing it. It's not being given out on the For You page because nobody's seeing it. It's not being given to the people that are following me either. Nobody's seeing my stuff on TikTok. And then, a couple days ago, I wake up in the morning and I can't get in my Facebook Messenger. And I'm like, what's going on? It says, your session's expired. I go to sign in and it says, your account has been permanently deleted. Then my boyfriend woke up a few hours later and his account had been permanently deleted. Then our friend who runs one of our pages, his admin, her page had been permanently deleted. And we found out 2 days later that the guy that runs the other page, or other group that we run, his page had been permanently deleted. All of us, exactly the same scenario. No demerits, no reasons, no, you know, like 30-day bans, no Facebook jail time, nothing on there, just, bye-bye. We don't like your personal opinions, you're out of here. So, the censorship is real. It's 1984. It's time to break the Ministry of Truth. Because they're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of manipulators. They are the totalitarian left. There is no tolerant left. They are the totalitarian left, and that is what they are. I watched a video on TikTok yesterday. It says, what about the tolerant left? And this guy said, oh, I'm not tolerant to anybody who's a racist. Well, you know, you're assuming that everybody on the right's a racist. You don't know us. You don't know our history. You don't know who the heck we are. You don't know our opinions. You don't know our racial backgrounds. You don't know that my mother's Jewish. You don't know that my father has gypsies in his background. He's got Norse people in his background. He's got English people in his background. Those gypsies came from India. So, you know, I've got Indian background. And I've got Jewish, Middle Eastern background. You know, how do you know? How do you know that Joe Blow down the street, whose last name isn't anything Hispanic, isn't Hispanic? You don't know. You don't know who their mother was, their father was. You're judging those people on their personal, idealistic opinions. You're not judging those people on their race, but yet you feel the need to call them a racist. All because of the mainstream media's brainwashing, Mockingbird media. Look it up. Operation Mockingbird, if you haven't already. Of course, you can't go to Wikipedia and look it up, because a couple years ago, after I did a video on it, which will be lower, way back in my videos on here, they changed the definitions on Wikipedia. Somebody edited it just to make sure that nobody knew what really happened. But it was a CIA program to put propaganda in the news during the Cold War, supposedly to protect the country. But they infiltrated newspapers, TV, radio, and colleges with this information. You know, Obama made it really simple for propaganda to continue with some of the laws that he put in. And that's exactly what's been going on. And I feel bad because, you know, there are people out there like my mother who's an intelligent person and has always been pretty much a fighter for justice, but not like an SJW fighter for justice. But, you know, when something goes wrong, she'd go right down to the courthouse or the tax office or whatever it is, and you know, with backed up legal information, and give them a good tongue lashing. And she's sitting there telling me I'm the evil one because I like Trump and I like his policies. Well, if you are watching the mainstream media, of course you'd think that. Stop watching the mainstream media. Go on YouTube. Or just forget about watching any of it if you're going to be like that. It's better to watch no news than it is to watch the news on cable TV. I'm serious. They are giving you just total garbage information. They block everything they can. Look what happened to the New York Post when McElhaney tried to post it on Twitter. I mean, they just killed her account. They won't let you post that article about that laptop. Because it's true. It's true information. But it would change the narrative. And their narrative, they don't want it changed. Right now, Google is about to go to a Senate hearing for antitrust. And so is Twitter. And Facebook's not far behind them. And we need to make sure that we stop this Ministry of Truth 1984 BS right now. It has to stop. It needed to stop 2 years ago, honestly. 2 years ago, or during the first run of Trump's election, I was reaching 20 to 30,000 people on Facebook every single day. And then I got shadow banned. And then I got 30-day kickouts for sharing to groups, and even my own groups that I was running, I wasn't allowed to touch or share or add or like or anything, upload to. They didn't want truth. They didn't want true information. They realized that we affected the election so heavily by actually spreading true information. They don't want you to know the true information. They want to keep you in the dark like you have been for the last 30 freaking years. 1971, the year I was born, things started to go to pot on the news and the information out there. And it's just got progressively worse. So, if you're not already awake, and I don't mean woke, because woke doesn't mean the same thing as being awake. You are not red-pilled if you're woke. Woke is just a liberal BS term, just like the resistance. What are you freaking resisting? Prosperity? What are you resisting? Responsibility? What are you resisting? Truth? What are you resisting? Real possibility for the future? For your children? Oh yeah, that's right. You don't want to be responsible for anything. You don't want to be responsible for having children. You don't want to be responsible for having to take birth control, or maybe just be a little conservative and not so flamboyant with your love life. You know, that's called responsibility, people. And maybe we all need to get a little bit of it out there on the liberal side. Just a little bit of responsibility might help everything. Everybody should be held accountable for their actions. That's law and order.